Hey guys, Anti-Figure Therapy here today, and we got a little bit of a special treat here. This is the quarter scale freeing bunny Scathach, I guess. So technically, because or I guess yeah, because bunny Scathach is technically a skin in the game from Fate Grand Order. So I guess technically it's like an actual character as opposed to how Freeing just does bunny versions of all the girls. Like they've done Shitoge, they've done C2, they've done Ryoko, and they've done all the Konosuba girls. But technically those don't exist in like the canon. But technically this does exist in the canon, so I guess that's what makes this one unique. But yeah, so I kind of decided to step out of my normal reviewing space, and you kind of see the backdrop, which is all my shelves. But here it is. It's a very large box. I believe it is larger than your normal bunnies, which usually stand around yay tall. Another thing is, well, I guess besides that, I just needed to fit it inside the frame just so everyone can see how big the box is. But yeah, so it's a really nice box. It's different from your normal bunny box. Most of the, I guess they all kind of have their unique styles to them. So each one is based off of a certain style. So the Konosuba one will have like bricks on it with the goofy Konosuba writing. This one is a little bit more ornate because it's from Grand Order, and also it's Scathach, and you know she's cool. but yeah, so this is around the sides. There's the top, and then I think there's nothing on the bottom. Okay, so basically this figure MSRP will run you around $250. However, the nature of bunny statues is that they will never really, even right off like the press, I guess, they'll always jump up. It's kind of strange. I've seen this one go for around $300 brand new, so you're already looking at a $50 increase, even though this figure just came out like literally a while, or I guess technically for the States at least. For the States it just came out right now, which is around the beginning of October. So let's go ahead and crack it open. Let's see what it's all about. So I guess just talking a little bit here. Alright, so I guess this version, there's two different versions of her. Let's be real. So there's actually this one, which is by Freeing, which is, they usually do the bunny stuff, and they're the ones responsible for all the quarter scale bunnies. And then there's another version of her which is done by Alter. Both are the same pose. Both are using real fishnets. I believe Alter has a real fluffy tail, and then also like same expression, everything. I think the Alter one is a little bit more like has more appreciating, but due to the size of this figure, like the natural shadows that'll play off of it is also pretty interesting. So that's kind of like a big plus. And then also the Alter one has like the glasses that she's holding, they're a little bit more foggier, and also the bottle that she's holding is a little bit more weathered. So almost like an indication of like a finely aged wine. So that's definitely pretty interesting. But yeah, the price difference though. So let's definitely talk about that. The Ultra one will run you around $140. So that's the base price. Now granted, of course, it might be up and down because it's Alter, but you can probably find a pre-owned one for about under that price, so that's already pretty good. So that's already a pretty good heads up. Now, of course, if you have the size or if you have the space, I'd say go for the Freeing one, just because it's a neater figure. Just because they haven't really done any quarter scale bunnies for FGO, so having this one be the first is interesting, like as opposed to like a poster character, you know, like because Scathach, not a lot of people know who Scathach is, as opposed to like Saber or Jalter or regular John or Mashu. Like it's interesting. So yeah, pop this off. All right, so kind of taking her out of her plastic prison here. Here is the bottle that I was talking about. What's cool is it looks like this. It's a good sized bottle. It's almost like, I guess in realistic terms, if you ever eaten like wine candy, like the candy that has actual wine in it, it's like chocolate, and then you eat it and it like bursts in your mouth. It's about the same size. And then the writing on it is, I think Celtic. That's where she's from. But like, for example, the Ultra one has a lot more detail on the bottle. It looks a lot cooler just because there's like some tattered to it. There's the bottle itself just seems more, it's like a clear bottle as opposed to like a solid color bottle. So that's already kind of like the one up that Alter has over this one. Now here are the glasses. The Alter glasses are much more foggier, but these ones are a lot clearer, and I do like that. I like the clear more. They are made out of plastic, so they feel kind of cheap, but at the same time, you know, who cares, because, you know, they're glasses. But yeah, so there's that. Let's go ahead and put that back in, and we'll take her out. So what I love about getting bunnies is that they're just so like big that there's like an inherent weight to them that if you ever have the chance to get one, I would recommend getting one. Just find one character you love a lot. I think my first bunny was Ryoko from Kill la Kill, and I love Ryoko because she's just such a cool character and she has a lot of fun style to her, and the bunny for her matches her personality, so that's what I like a lot. But yes. Now, upcoming bunny releases, just to kind of get this out of the way, they are doing Raphtalia. 02 came out as well from the same like time frame as the Scathach one, so that one's a nice one as well. Also, what is it? They're doing like bare-legged versions of certain ones, so they also announced that they're doing a Holy War Gibril, but with bare legs. So basically what that means is they basically just take off the fishnets, which for me is kind of like why would you do that? Because that's like the point of the figure. But yeah. But also what's unique about this particular release and what actually sold me is that the normal bunnies do not have fluffy tails. So if I ever talk about my C2 or my Ryoko, they have this ugly tail that's like sculpted. I really don't like that kind of stuff. Like whenever they try to do like not actual material like fur, but they do like a sculpted fur or something, it just looks really like weird. Like for example, like in the background, I have a Mitsuru from Persona 4 Ultimax, and basically she had this big ass like fur coat that was like molded, and it was super heavy. And then I just straight up made a new fur coat for her out of like fake fur that I got from like eBay for like some Barbie doll or whatever, and it turned out looking a lot better. And it was like, and I really liked that the real materials just more because it makes it seem more cool. But yeah, she has these little like pom-poms on her heels, and she has a lot of cool like kind of like little bits and bobs all over her. So like this little like I don't know what they're called, but yeah, it's like, yeah, I just don't know. But yeah, that's neat as well. I think, yeah, it's actually, there's like some little bit of like, since there is some elasticity to it, like the material itself in like the fiction, there is a little bit of press on her thighs, which is nice as well. So that's a good attention to detail. Also, I think on the Ultra one, just if you look at it overall, the shading on the Ultra one's really nice, especially in the bunny suit itself. So that's also pretty cool. What's cool is her fingernails are painted, which is nice. Her hand is very nice as well, very cute. But and then yeah, let's let a little peek there. No, I'm kidding. But I think, yeah, what's funny is sometimes KO companies will like they'll like rip off the clothes off of figures and then like sculpt new clothes. So that's always just such a funny thing if you just want to like a goofy figure. But the hair is pretty nice. What's a little bit scary is these parts, they kind of just like hang off and they feel very like weak, almost like brittle. But what's also like another little bit of a weird thing is look at how her hair like kind of, I guess that is kind of natural, but I always thought there would be like more like volume to the back of it when it really like swishes back. And also like how it'll kind of, I guess a good example is if you guys know Jabami Yumiko from Kakegururi, which is like Compulsive Gambler. Her hair has this crazy like physic where it's like it'll always have this this poof to it towards the back, and then it'll kind of show like almost a big dimensionality with it. The Figma has that as well, but that's like Scathach's kind of thing where she's always kind of like floaty, but and her hair kind of emulates that as well. So yeah, and then here's her face. Let me go ahead and do some focusing on her face. Let me see if the camera will actually pick it up with all the crap in the back. But yeah, so let's see, autofocus. There we go. So definitely a pretty nice expression. It matches the character. She's always been like, oh, she actually has a little bit of lip gloss, which is cool too. Unfortunately, no shiny eyes, so I think that's like an altered thing. I think altered does have the shiny eyes, and then also the bunny ears are nice as well. So like I said, same pose and everything for the alter one. Now also, let's go ahead and put her to the side and get her on her base. So, yep. But yeah, I mean, I guess on like a personal note, this one also, the base itself is also kind of interesting. Sometimes, or I guess some bunny statues don't even come with bases. So for example, the like the C2 didn't have a base, which kind of annoyed me because it was very nice. It was a very cool figure, but then I was kind of hoping that it would at least come with like some sort of like velvety kind of base. So maybe I'll make one of those. But her base is pretty standard. It is a nice big aqua, like a aqua-ish blue. It's a lot darker IRL. I think the camera's picking it up as a little bit more lighter, but standard base. Pop her on there. Hopefully she doesn't fall. But yeah. It is kind of interesting though. Let me see if I can show this off. So basically there's this clear support right here, which basically is kind of like for her heel, and it's kind of missing already. So let me see if I can find out what is up with that. Usually, oh, okay, here it is. Okay, so basically in the package it was in there. I just have to cut it out. But yeah, so what I'm talking about is this clear support right here. So that is actually a separate piece in the package, and then you would put it over the second slot. So basically that way you have your heel supports, and then this one's a metal one, this one's a plastic one. So and then she would just go ahead and slot in. This is always tricky because I want to make sure I don't like bend anything, but yeah. Let me just pull it off camera really quick. But I guess in the meantime, just try to do this as quickly as possible. So essentially right now, it's just really fighting me. But that... Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. That's one, and then the other one, there we go, perfectly. So the harder one to put in is definitely the metal one, and then the easier one is the plastic one, just because it has a little bit more give to it. But there she is. It went out of focus, but yeah, she is a behemoth. Like, that's what I love about the bunny statues, is that they're freaking huge. Like, it's like, you'll never really get that sensation where it's like one-to-one statue unless you make one yourself or you order them. But this is actually already really nice as just a really large-scale statue. So let's go ahead and pop the drink in her hand ever so carefully. Just kind of plug that in. And then basically for the cups, you would kind of hang them off of her fingers. Kind of like how when people hold cups upside down. So usually you would hold the cup by the neck of the cup. You wouldn't hold it by the stem. But yeah, so there is Scathach. I mean, not really much else to say about her. It's a very cool figure. Like I said, if you have the budget, the extra $100 to spend to upgrade it, like in terms of size, I would say go for the bunny one. But if you're working with a budget and you just want a nice, kind of like a cheaper alternative that is still not compromising your quality, I would go for the Ultra one for sure. And then also, I think what makes this unique in the bunny standards of like the freeing ones, the fluffy tail. I think you won't even see it, but just the fact that it's there is already pretty cool. And also, what I love about the bunnies is just look at that. Like, it's so fine. Like, you really can't go wrong there. But yeah, so it's great just to see all the details up close. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm definitely going to enjoy trying to find a spot for this big girl on my shelf. And that's it. See you guys around.